kill. W-A-N-C. Muchos han tratado de tumbarme, todos han fallado. Aquí sigo de pie bien rifado. Pa' mi gente yo soy un soldado. Muchos han tratado de tumbarme, todos han fallado. Yo sigo siendo bien mexicano, con orgullo bandera en mi mano.
As always, that song just gets me going.
Oh, it sure is, cousin Juan.
Dude, by the way, kudos. I thank you for putting it together. I know.
I'm sure this is gonna be a hit.
It's gonna
cousin
be-
Juan.
Can you guess who I am?
Are you like Super Mario? Oh.
Yeah, I think you might be able to guess who I am now. Yeah.
Yes.
Little Cheech Marin.
Little
yeah.
Cheech Marin.
I
Yes.
think his name is actually Pedro de Paco in the movie, I think. But
Oh, right.
Pedro de Paco.
Right.
Anyway, but happy Halloween, man.
Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Just kind of, you got the right hat on for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how many Mexicans does it take to screw a light bulb?
I have no idea how many.
It takes one.
Just one, yeah.
Just one.
Only one Mexican.
Cousin Juan.
Dude, the hair fits you, man.
Hey, man. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep this look.
Yeah, I
man.
think you should carry it in, and then
Yeah.
join the WWE.
I
You're-
can rock this.
you're
I can
ready
rock this
for it, dude.
good. Yeah. Hey, what's up, man?
So,
How's it going?
just ramping up for Halloween, got to, get the outfit on, trying to get the kids familiar with a little bit of history and Chicano history anyway. But
Beautiful history, man.
yeah, just looking forward to Halloween with the kids. And whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I just think about the times of
Right.
my Halloween growing up.
Is there an age where you're too old to
To participate in Halloween,
Yeah.
like trick or treat.
Yes. Trick or treat. Yeah.
I think you're gonna get some looks from some parents.
Really?
I think, yeah. Because I remember being like, I don't know, 16, 15, 14.
Yeah.
And it's that point where you're like, do I still dress up? Do I still wear a costume?
Right.
I would just put on a mask and
Right.
just collect candy wherever I could.
Right.
Or steal it from kids.
That's the way. Robártelo.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah,
That's
I
terrible.
know.
Poor kids.
I know, but it was fun.
It was fun.
Back in the days.
The
yeah.
90s were tough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't think any kids from today would survive the 90s.
No.
I don't
That
know.
was a hard time. I mean, I used to tell my kid about getting splashed in the corner by like when it was raining and stuff, and there'd be
Yeah.
big ass puddles of water, just waiting for them to splash on me. And he's like, "You just stood there. What about if the water was dirty?" I was like, "That's all right."
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. When I first started driving, dude, it was during the remember the last El Nino, like back in
When it was like 97. I don't even know.
yeah, it was like 97. So I was first started driving. I was really young. I was driving,
okay.
and that's what I would do, bro.
You were the splasher.
I was a splasher, and I would do it intentionally. Like I was just like, oh, there's people walking.
Okay,
I'd
so
sit
it's
closer
like
to the
women and
curb.
children too. They
Most of the time,
Oh
yeah.
my god!
I apologize. I apologize for that, but
it's my truck. I can't take it. Yeah.
but I confess it. I
I mean,
haven't
I
done
used-
it since.
I would be like, "Yo, splash me." So
Right.
I mean, there was people like me that were there, and,
You're right.
but you knew if you're walking on the sidewalk.
Yeah, that was a risk you take, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
It's
walk
like-
that close.
In the hood, you get shot or you get splashed,
You
right?
get splashed by bullets or splashed by water.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Do you watch Halloween movies at all?
I do.
Okay.
I still have to watch the Halloween Ends movie.
I've
it's out,
I've heard some
right?
mixed reviews about it.
Really?
Yeah,
Really.
But from young people, I'm like, what do you guys think? It's a movie that's 30 years old.
Right. And
It's the same story every time.
It is basically, but aren't they like erasing some of the sequels that came out?
Yeah, I think they're like trying to
They're-
blur it, like kind of what they did
like-
with Fast and Furious.
Right.
Like-
right.
Tokyo Drift didn't really count.
Right.
It-
Right.
But
It
it
didn't happen,
did.
but it did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's probably
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
as scary.
Right. What's your favorite scary movie, man?
I actually just recently I had a few friends over, and my son was like, "We want to watch a scary movie," and he was talking about Blair Witch. Remember Blair Witch
Yes.
Project? And I was like, "That's kind of cool," but he's like, "How long until it gets to the climactic point?" And I was like, "This is like a 3-hour movie." dude." I was
Right.
like, "This is like Titanic with no climax."
Right. It
I
gets you dizzy, man.
I showed him the preview, and I was like, "That's basically the movie." I was like, "You just watched the movie in about a minute, you know?"
Right.
So I was
right.
like, "Watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers," as it's an old movie.
I haven't seen that one.
It was remade, I think, in 1980s, something like that. We just recently saw it. I forget a lot of the actors, unfortunately, but either way, great movie. And it's aliens come down from outer space. They travel through spores, and then they grow on plants, and they make a copy of you while you sleep, basically. And then they birth out of a pod, and you eventually die because you've withered away and helped the clone. And the clones would identify you by screaming. You know, they would yell at you because, you're a human. Yeah. So you'd have to act like a clone and act like emotionless. And stuff like that.
Right.
But
Do you think there's a difference between the older horror movies and like the newer ones, the modern ones?
There's a lot. So we were trying to decide on what movie to watch.
Yeah.
And so everybody's like, well, do we want slash and gore?
Yeah.
You can get that Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
You know, Hills Have Eyes, stuff like that.
Right. Oh, that movie freaked me out.
That was, it's a really creepy movie.
Yeah.
I told him about Jeepers Creepers. I don't know if you ever seen that.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, with the guy chasing him down in the truck.
Right.
I got a crazy story about that I can tell you about.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were also thinking, slasher movies. Usually they're only good for that moment. It's like, whoa, look at that kill. That was pretty intense, right? But I like the older ones where it's a little bit of thinking. It's not as jump scary. Yeah. And you're like, oh, twists and turns in the storyline and the way the actors portray it usually is really well.
Right.
But then there's movies like The Blob.
Right.
It's just a flop, but it was, it's cool.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of scary situations and Jeepers Creepers, makes me think of a time I drove with a couple buddies to somewhere called Bullhead City.
Okay.
It's kind of near Arizona, I believe, the Arizona-California border.
Okay.
We were young, and Jeepers Creepers had recently came out.
Yeah.
Or at least in the last couple of years. We drove a buddy to Bullhead City, and we were returning, me and my other buddy, and we were driving down this stretch of highway. This is before everybody has smartphones that were capable of giving you GPS coordinates. Right, you'd have MapQuest, and you'd print out
I remember that.
Just look for the Highway 18, and you're driving in the dark, like, what the hell is it, or whatever, So we were doing that, using MapQuest for instructions, and we're down this dark highway, and it's pitch black night, star-studded sky, and I had a Nissan 240SX, so it was pinging at 90, 100 miles an hour.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was a 91 240SX. Rest in peace. Yeah.
That was my first car.
Oh, really?
That was mine was an 89, though.
Okay, it's still good. Yeah. I love it. And now my nephew has one. He has a 93. Yeah, so it's really nice. Yeah. So we were driving that little thing on the way back. And, dude, this truck pulls up behind us, like, just hauling ass. This big old truck, lifted truck. Kind of like probably wearing a hat like what you're wearing right now, right?
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you what. And so I look in the rearview mirror. I look at my buddy. I'm like, yo, this guy's hauling ass. I pull over to the side, and he flies right by us. Right. I was like, what the hell? And I get back on the road, and we're driving again. And I shit you not, dude. He was behind us again doing the same shit. And I was like, he must have like turned off on some dirt road because there's a big ass truck and just went around us again, right? But he did it a couple times. At this point, my buddy's like, dude, hit the gas. Go fast, dude. Get us out of here. And I was like, this car doesn't go fast, dude. It goes 110. But dude, we ended up hauling ass as much as we could. Got to a welded area and kind of like pulled over like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, first of all, if you're doing that was fucked up. Okay. That was fucked up and scary, but yeah, you got us. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
You ever had a situation like that? Like where movies come to real life for you? Like scary times?
I can't think of any. Oh, yes. Okay. So, bro, I used to live in Mexico for like a year.
Okay. I've been there. Yeah, for sure.
And there's a story. So my wife, who was my fiance at the time, and her mom, like they were like really kind of poor. So they had like an old TV, like the old kind.
Yeah, the tube television.
Yeah. And it was I guess they couldn't afford, or they just didn't want to buy a new TV.
For sure.
That the TV, like all of a sudden would do white noise, and they have to like literally like go to it and bang it.
Yeah, a little
so they can get a picture.
Head,
like it had nothing to do with the antenna or the cable TV. Nothing. It was the actual TV. Like there's something wrong with it. They would just bang it, and they would get a picture back.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. For sure.
So this like
I think that was in the user manual for those TVs. Yeah, when acting up, just slap it.
So I told my fiance at the time, who's now my wife, which I love very much.
Slide that in.
I said, you know what? I want to buy your mom a TV.
Yeah.
Like, and just
hook them up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the time I had bought a home over there, and it wasn't furnished or anything. So I said, I'll take that TV. I'll give your mom a brand new TV, and I'll take that TV, and I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was a 2-story house, and it was like completely empty. Right. And it wasn't furnished. I literally had like one of those inflatable mattresses in the bedroom.
Okay.
And then like I think it was
straight
like
bachelor pad.
hell yeah, dude. I think it was like a box, and then we had the TV on top. The TV that would show
For
like,
sure.
noise. So I had just seen The Ring. Remember The Ring?
Yeah.
How the it would be white noise, and then the girl will come out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro. So there was something wrong with the electricity there. Like it was just like
Well, that's all of Mexico.
right.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden everything would turn off. Right? Like it was just like I'm watching TV, and then the electricity would go like everywhere.
Se fue la luz. Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, fuck, it's time to go to sleep. So I go to sleep.
That's your sign to go to sleep. Yeah.
I wake up like at 3 a.m, bro.
That's
and
witching hour. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Uh-huh.
And then there's a shh.
No, fuck.
And
no.
I'm like, fuck this shit. Bro,
Like, I'm not turning off the TV. Yeah.
I had to turn it off because I thought that
Le zumbaste la pinche tele.
Right.
Turn off, cabrona.
Bro, I was freaking out. I legitimately was freaked out, bro.
Fuck, I'm scared. You're just telling me the story, dude.
Bro, it's just like, and then like from that point on,
Hey, you can always start a story as like, one time in Mexico, you're like, oh shit.
oh yeah,
This is gonna be real shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
From that point on, bro, I used to sleep with the lights on in the entire house, bro. And then like my cousins, like in Mexico, I don't know where your area where you're from Mexico, but like it's just like you go out at night, like whatever.
Yeah,
They would come to my house at night
Yeah.
just to fuck around and notice that the lights were on.
Yeah.
And they'll make fun of me and shit. Like,
Fuck
so,
yeah, dude.
I was like, fuck that. It's just
¿Por qué te
scary shit.
asustaron anoche? Yeah, me asustaron anoche, dude. I'm
Yeah.
fucking scared,
The
dude.
Ring girl.
Yeah.
I don't even know what her name is.
Dude,
but-
yeah, but she's that scary enough.
Yeah. And that noise, dude,
That's fucking TV being staticky.
that shit freaked me out, bro.
Oh my
So I was
God.
like, yes.
Dude,
Yes.
I remember one time in Mexico, my dad, he told me to go out with my cousins, and we went out drinking, and I got back home, and it was probably like 2 or 3 a.m.
Yeah.
We're talking about 3 a.m., right?
Yeah.
And dude, everybody says it's sleep paralysis is what they call it, right? But in Mexico, they say because it's
sube el muerto.
se sube el muerto, right?
Yeah.
And dude, that happened to me. I was like, oh shit. And I'm like, and they're like, oh, my cousins always tell me, pues grita, or tell them like they not to get on you or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And so there I am, según yo, fucking praying or whatever the fuck to try to get him off. And at that point, dude, I was like, as soon as I was able to move, and like I can hear my dad, because I was calling my dad, and I can hear him snoring, fucking sawing wood in the background, you know? And I was like, fuck, you can't hear me. No me escucha, pinche cabrón. And I was like, damn. But the moment I was able to get up, I me levanté, güey, and I fucking went to the living room, and I turned on the TV, and it was like 4:30 in the morning that I was up. My dad got up early, probably like 5:30, comes into the living room, and he goes, ¿Y like, what the fuck are you doing awake? You know? And I was like, oh, nomás, no podía dormir. Ah, ¿qué pues? ¿Te asustaron? And I was like, what the fuck you mean que me asustaron? ¿Qué te asustan a ti? He's like, a mí no me asustan. I was like, yeah, porque los pinches ronquidos. No, fucking you scare off the ghosts with them shits, you know?
Right.
But he laughed and chuckled about it. So I was like, man, you know what I'm talking about. Like, this is a little creepy here.
So how does that feel? Like you actually wake up and you can't move?
So to me, I never even went to sleep, bro. Like I had a mattress on the floor because my dad was straight bachelor pad too.
Yeah.
Right? So I had a mattress on the floor. Peor tantito que a veces hay pinche cucarachas en el piso, güey.
Of course,
so
yeah.
fucking fighting them off or te los comes.
Yeah,
or
if
whatever.
it's not Mexico.
Yeah, it's not. So
Right.
those ones go to sleep too, so it's not a big deal.
Right.
Se cansan también los pinches cucarachas. So, según yo llegué, me acosté, I laid down. And as I laid down, like I did that laying down thing where you have one leg bent and the other one's like, laying out this way and one leg's kind of pyramid up, you know?
Yeah.
And so there I was. I'm just kind of like, damn, like I drank myself sober. I don't know if you ever, I don't know if you partake too much in the alcohol thing, but I drank so much that I was like, I'm not buzzed anymore. I feel sober. It was a strange feeling.
But is it because you were scared or just because you drank so much?
When I got home, I was like, I was buzzing, but I'm not anymore. It was
okay.
weird. Maybe we
right.
drank. I don't know. It's Mexico.
Yeah.
The tequila flows so well for whatever reason.
Of course.
So I've laid down, and that's cuando I get to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm not moving. Can I move? No, wait, I can't move. Can I talk? Say something. Can't say anything, right? And then I'm like, oh shit. Se me subió el pinche diablo, whatever. And then I get scared. And I'm like, okay, what do they tell me what to do? I start panicking.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm just laying there, like not doing anything. And I was like, what the hell, dude? And I remember like hearing stuff but my son is very scientific and he goes, it's probably because you were in a sleep paralysis and your brain was still awake, but your body fell asleep.
Right.
And that's why it felt like that. I'm like, bro, what scared me the most, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, is when somebody gets on your bed and like let's say you're laying, you're facing up, and somebody gets on your bed at the foot of the bed and the bed moves.
Yeah.
Especially with the mattress on the floor, you can feel that movement, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
And se sintió que se subieron, cabrón. And I was like, and that's after that point, I couldn't move, bro. I could not move.
Oh.
Yeah. I later found out that they used to do satanic rituals in that house.
No way.
Yeah, in some back room. Yeah, they used to do some
my
crazy
God.
shit. So there's because like people that live there be like, oh no. Sí, el niño a veces lo ves y corre. And I was like, ¿cuál niño? No tienen niños aquí. No, el niño que está aquí. I was like, bro, like you guys are comfortable with it? Like, no mames.
It's funny. This is not my observation, pero there's a Mexican comedian que se llama Ricardo Faril. You haven't heard of him?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So he has this really funny joke, and it makes sense because every time I've heard of a ghost story in Mexico, especialmente Mexico, it's always a niña. Like it was like a little girl.
Yeah.
It's always a girl, like a little girl, like a 5-year-old, right? And then so the comedian's like, imagine you're in a haunted house and then like a dude, like a 50-year-old guy just
comes out
and scares you. I'm gonna be like, why aren't you a little girl? I'm not scared. Sé una niña.
Hey, you better be a little girl. That's the scariest shit. I mean, The Ring.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a fucking little girl.
Yeah.
Dude, they remade it recently, right? Didn't they?
Yeah.
I didn't see that, but
wasn't The Exorcist also a little girl?
Yes, it was a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what movie freaked me out? The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Have you seen that movie?
Yes, I have seen that.
Dude, that movie freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah, that's just scary.
Yeah. You know what I used to do in Mexico? I felt so free living in Mexico.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like basically I was a night owl, right?
Okay.
So my wife, my fiance at the time, she would go to college, right? So she would like pretty much Monday to Friday, she would go start like at 7 a.m. and like get out like at 4 o'clock. So that would be the time I would like kind of wake up, pick her up, hang out with her the evening, whatever.
Yeah.
And then come nighttime, drop her off at her house, and then the fun start.
Yeah, for sure. The best part of Mexico.
So that's like where me and my cousins would just walk around. We used to go to just cemeteries.
Oh yeah.
At night.
El Panteón. Vamos al Panteón.
Fuck
Like,
around.
fuck, ¿por qué? No, estás bien chingón.
I would love it. I would
yeah.
love it. Me encantaba
The tours and everything they used to do there.
Bro, they were just like, and then they would get all
Did you go to
freaked out.
Panteón de Belén?
No.
It's in Guadalajara, creo.
Oh, I haven't been there.
Don't quote me on that, but I think, yeah.
Oh, I don't.
They always, like, vamos al Panteón. I remember that shit.
Yeah. So we would go at night, bro. We go all these cemeteries all over, like in Mexico, and it was just like we would hang out, we would take pictures and shit to see, and then later check on the pictures, see if we find something. I never found shit,
Of course, yeah.
but they always had stories like, we came here,
Me agarraron las verijas.
I saw a shadow, miré una sombra,
Las pinches sombras.
oh, me tocaron acá. Oh, what is it? I was like, bro,
Siempre es el primo que te está agarrando allí.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man.
Oh, speaking of that, like fucking around, when I was in high school, for PE, I don't know how it was with you, but in PE, if you didn't dress up for PE, like they would just like put you on the side, right?
Oh, you didn't get the loners?
No.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you had loners?
We had loners, and it sucked because we had red shorts and gray tops.
Yeah.
So when they would wash them together, they'd turn pink. So you're wearing pink, and everybody knew you didn't bring your shit because our colors were
well,
red.
at least they were washed, right? Imagine
Maybe.
because
I don't know.
cochinos, it smelled like
Quién
all
sabe,
that,
güey.
like anyway.
Public school.
So I didn't dress, right?
Okay.
Because I was just lazy,
Yeah,
whatever.
well,
And it was me and this at the time they called them gothic dude, but I guess now they're emos, or is that the difference?
No, they've separated now.
They're still gothic.
They're still goth. Yeah.
Oh, the goths.
Yeah,
anyhow, so he was a goth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I just started talking to him, and he's like, hey man, have you ever played with the Ouija board? I'm like, no, I have not. He's like, you want to talk to a spirit right now? And it was like broad daylight. It was like 10 a.m. or something like that, right? And we're outside. He's like, I'm like, do you have a Ouija board? And he's like, no, we're gonna make one. So he would just grab a piece of paper and he would write like the letters, and then I think it would be yes and no.
Right.
And then with a pencil, we would just like grab it together, right? And then we would ask the spirits questions, and then it would answer. The whole entire time, I was fucking with this guy because he's like, are you moving it? I'm like, no, bro, I'm not moving it. Are you moving it? And he's like, no. And then he would ask all these dumb shit, and I was moving it. I'm telling you right now, bro. I forgot your name, but
it was me.
It was me, bro. It was no spirits. I was moving it. He would
the confession pod, yeah.
Yeah. He would freak out, bro.
Damn.
And he would like wear this thing called patchouli. It's like a very
it's like a musky smell. Is it?
Very musky, distinctive smell.
Yeah.
I haven't smelled it since, bro.
Yeah.
But he was like, wear this pouring all over him. I guess he need to take a shower or something, but that was all weird. But bro, I was like, I would fuck with him a lot. And he would like freak out. Like he would literally believe that we were
imagine
talking to spirits.
The tangent you sent him on, dude.
Oh yeah, I bet.
After that, he's probably like deep in the dark arts right now. Yeah, super deep right now. If you're watching, we love you. Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
Sorry, bro.
Sorry, bro.
Sorry, bro. I tell you what. Yeah, dude, the scary ass stories, man. There's so many from Mexico. And
yeah,
do you have any here, like from here at home? It's not
yeah.
it's not as haunted here.
It's not, but you're gonna hear what's crazy.
Yeah.
So, my house, I've never heard anything, nothing.
Okay.
But my brother-in-law, who was like a scaredy cat. He's a scaredy cat. I told him that I was told when I bought this house that there was a kid that was buried under the house.
Oh shit!
And that you hear him once in a while. And that myself and my entire family have made peace with him, so he's cool. Like he's not gonna.
He doesn't fuck with this. Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. Like we're cool. It never happened. Nunca pasó, cabrón.
Yeah.
But he swears, bro. He swears.
He's there. I hear him, bro.
I hear him. Like yes,
under the
yes, you hear him. Like one time, actually, it was Halloween. He was here visiting, and it was Halloween. And then at the time, we had like a smaller car, and he didn't fit.
Okay,
so it was just my wife and I and my two kids, and it was just we didn't fit, right? So we couldn't fit a fit person. Either I didn't go, or my wife didn't go, or he didn't go.
Mm-hmm.
So the choice was made. He had to stay.
He's all fuck. Yeah.
So he stayed Halloween night where we went out trick-or-treating.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, when he came back, he was pale as a ghost.
Like all the lights were on and everything.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I heard him. I heard the kid. I think
talking to me. Yeah.
I think he even talked to me.
He said to leave. Yeah, I gotta go.
But it's so funny because, like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you actually believe in ghosts?
Sometimes I do, man. Like sometimes I do. Like especially the shit I've been through. Like, yeah, So I think about like that story of you telling somebody that there's something that happened. I do the same at home. Like, we have an old Insignia fridge from Best Buy. Great fridge, by the way. This has been holding it down for a long time.
Those things last forever, man.
Insignia stuff just doesn't bulletproof. Anyway,
right.
So, but it does sound like it has a small child inside of it at times. Like, it's like towards the end of the night when everything's nice and quiet, and if you're trying to sneak something out of the fridge or whatever, get some midnight snacks, you'll hear like this. And so my son would come into the kitchen. I'm like, dude, do you hear that? He's like, what is that? I was like, there's something in the fridge. I was like, some spirit lives in the fridge. And he looked at me and was like, Dad, what the hell's wrong with you? He was like, shh, listen. And he would hear it and he's like, what is that? And I was like, I'm telling you, there's a spirit in the fridge. The old Best Buy spirit lives in there. And so whatever. Yeah, but so I mean, like, do I believe in it? Yeah, sometimes, dude. I've been like, lately, I've been waking up at 3 a.m., dude.
Exactly 3 a.m.?
3 a.m., 2:59, and I'm fucking out of bed at 3. I'm like,
bro,
like
what? I think there was a movie that I saw, and it was 3:33 a.m.
Yeah.
Right? The inversion of the 666, right?
Right.
Or half of whatever. But it's like 666, but divided by 2, 3, whatever. And sometimes I will wake up at 3:33 and I had to piss.
Oh
right?
yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the one
Yeah.
that's like get up. You're like, God, okay.
No, fuck that. I don't.
You hold it. You're like,
I
I'll
hold
wait till
that shit.
3:35.
Yeah, when is it 3:35? It's safe.
2 minutes later, yeah, it's like 4:20. Yeah,
Right. Oh,
yeah. If you get there at 4:22, you're late. Yeah.
You're late.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
Augusta, yeah.
You know, but with respect to ghosts, you know, quantum mechanics or quantum physics actually
Mhm.
kind of prove that ghosts could exist.
How so? The only thing I know about quantum physics is Ant-Man.
Oh, right. Well,
Yeah.
think about that. So,
Okay.
quantum physics has this, and it's still a hypothesis, but it says that this hypothesis says that every molecule or every atom actually has the ability to have a superposition. And what a superposition means is they can be two things at once.
Whoa, shit.
So, for instance, like this water bottle
Mm-hmm.
and its superposition has water in it and doesn't have water in it. Both. The only thing that shows that it has water is because it's observable. I don't know. Like
Okay.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But basically, because there's superpositions, there could be like literally two other people right now having a podcast in this other superposition. We just can't see it. Therefore, these ghosts
Are
could
those-
simply be
Those other people.
those other people in like a multi-universe type of thing. Think of multi-universe, think of like parallel universes and all that
yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
That's what could probably explain ghosts. Because they're not really dead people. They're just actually people
There's that.
within another
Was-
parallel universe.
Was that movie Interstellar?
I've not seen it, but yes, it's
Where he's like
something.
looking at himself in the other dimension.
Right.
Yeah, that was like, whoa.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So kind of that's the idea.
Yeah.
It was a ghost
So,
looking at himself.
according to quantum physics, that could be the explanation for ghosts, if there is any.
That's kind of a buzzkill, bro. Like I wanted to see like Casper and shit. You know?
Right. I
Hey,
know.
friendly ghost. Like,
I
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Casper?
Yeah, some people. The guys in those houses, the guy in the house, they were trying to kick him out.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Because
His
they were,
crazy cousins and whatnot.
they were racist, right?
Yeah, they didn't like the white
They
guys.
don't like the white guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of scary stuff, you remember the Killer Clowns?
Yeah, I do.
They're supposed to make a comeback, my son was telling me.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how well that's gonna go for people in the South, because I didn't see any here in California.
I just take my shotgun.
I'll
tell you
what.
I shoot the motherfuckers.
That's right. Killer Clowns, don't do it.
Right.
Bad.
But what is it about this phobia for clowns? Like, I'm not scared of clowns.
I'm
I-
deathly afraid of it.
Why?
Dude, I don't know what it like. I can't say it's like it, like, oh, it traumatized me. Like
Right.
he's scary looking, but
Or-
just
Killer clowns from space.
yeah, like but just your normal looking, round bodied, painted face that like a forced smile the whole time. And
Yeah.
just loves kids.
Yeah.
You just know he's ready to explode. You know.
Hmm.
I don't see joy in those people. I think there was a John Wayne Gacy
Yeah.
used to always dress as a clown and
Yeah.
be with kids. And he
Yeah.
was, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know what he did.
Yeah, there was an episode of American Horror Story that was heavily based on that character.
I saw like this story about him, and they talked. I think it was on Netflix, and they talked about how he was like the man of the neighborhood, and he was part of these like neighborhood programs and government programs, and super involved and all this other stuff. And the clown pictures showed up, but yeah, I don't know what makes clowns scary, dude. That the fact that they are always happy,
Yeah.
and they're probably dead inside, you know.
But aren't they like a evolution of like the court jester? Like that's kind of where
yeah, but the court jester tries to entertain you.
well, that's what a clown does, right?
I don't know.
Well, I've never met a creepy clown.
Remember the
Like-
one from Devil's Rejects?
Oh yes, yeah.
See, like that guy's been clowning for a long time,
right,
and he was
right,
just
right,
like, "I'm over being a clown."
right,
Yeah.
right.
It's an angry clown.
Yeah, I just don't understand the phobia. I just don't get it. I mean, I get like, when you see movies like It and, you see Killer Clowns from Outer Space
Mhm.
and that shit, but I just don't get like a regular circus clown could be creepy. Like Ronald McDonald. Is he creepy?
Close enough, yeah, I think so.
I've never saw him as creepy. Like I've seen like some YouTube stuff where they kind of
Like those hard, like plastic ones inside of McDonald's. Those are ones kind of creepy. Just
You think so?
see, like, if you were to look at that in a McDonald's, the lights off, there's just a Ronald
Yeah,
sitting there in the dark.
I guess, yeah. Especially with his
Smiling.
hand up,
Yeah,
saluting.
I'd be shitting my pants.
Yeah, yeah, I guess, I
Yeah.
guess. But he always seemed like a cool dude. Like I
Yeah,
wanted a Happy Meal.
yeah. Until it's not happy.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It's Halloween, so that's probably why.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Scary
guess.
clowns, dude. I don't know.
Yeah. What would
Yeah.
you do if one would pop out of the
I
woodwork?
for some reason clowns always seem to have like super strength. Clowns never fucking die apparently for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I think American Horror Story had some good clowns on there too, and they were
Yeah.
pretty intense. They're,
Yeah.
they're usually like the ones that just keep barreling at you and they don't stop. Right,
Right.
so funny.
Right. Right.
Like it does fucking. I can't, dude. I don't know what it is. It's I would run. I mean, everybody knows if you run in a horror scene or a horror event, you're gonna break your leg and
Right.
they're gonna put an axe in your back.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. I just don't understand the psychology of like being afraid of clowns or like being afraid of like creepy dolls. Like what makes a doll creepy? Like,
Them staring at you all night.
yeah. Well, like, yeah, but I mean, it's just they're not supposed to be creepy. Like it's just like that Annabelle doll, right? Of course, they made her creepy, but if you look at the original Annabelle doll, it's just the Raggedy Ann doll.
But yeah, you ever seen a pile of clothes on a chair at
Yeah.
night and you're like, and they're like, oh wait, it's the fucking clothes they didn't put away today.
Right.
That
right.
shit will, the imagination will pick it up and make it something creepy. Like it's funny you say dolls. My mom used to have porcelain dolls, and she used to love collecting a fuckload of them. Like,
Yeah.
Mom, if you're listening, you know which ones I'm talking about.
Right.
Y esos pinches dolls los tenían en el closet, güey. And
Yeah.
when we would be laying down in the bed, it was so packed with dolls que no cerraba el closet. And so
Okay.
the door would be open,
Right.
right? And I know dormido allí, dude. You're just laying down. You open your eyes. You see their face pressed against the bag, like fucking staring at you, like, "Hey, what's up, dude? I'm gonna get out this motherfucker." You're like, no, dude. That to me is just like, why are you always looking at me? Like when you go to Disneyland and you go to the haunted house and they have those masks that look, they're always looking at
Oh
you.
yeah, yeah.
Like that stuff's very creepy.
Right, but let's kind of remove all of these movie biases.
Okay.
Okay, let's just say that a doll does come to life. What's a doll like? Let's just say one of your mom's dolls. Let's use as an example. What's the height? 10 inches.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So it comes to life.
Yeah.
Right, and it's looking straight at you. Where is the fear factor there?
The fact that it's now an animated object that's moving.
Sure. But
The shock value there is just like, whoa, what are you doing moving?
Okay, but
Right.
then beyond that,
Oh, don't get me wrong. I have like attempt to punt it or whatever, but
right,
you know what happens? They'll grab onto your foot and they'll bite your shit or whatever, like,
right.
like think of Army of Darkness. It's our title. It's our cover
Oh,
for,
yeah. Yeah. Oh,
I love Army of Darkness. Bruce
Right.
Campbell, you're the shit.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I love Bruce Campbell. So in that movie, he gets attacked by a bunch of little hymns.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And they were doing the dumbest shit to him.
Right.
And he would be doing like what we would be doing, trying to hit them. Oh, I'm gonna
Right.
just pour hot water on them.
Right. There's
all-
a bunch of them, right?
Yeah,
We're
there's a
just
bunch.
talking one. Like I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
a Chucky, right? I always thought, like, okay, he's 2 feet tall at most, right?
Yeah.
He's possessed, and he probably carries the strength of a regular man, but he's still small, right? So you have leverage on him. I'm just thinking like jiu-jitsu here. Like you have leverage on him.
Okay, yeah.
Like you can just grab the dude, any standard size person, 6 foot tall, even shorter than that, can probably restrain this little
So
doll.
if he was like a Pokemon card and somebody dropped Chucky, right? And you're like, oh well, I got the Papa Juan card. He's gonna come and boot this mother.
Right.
But the possession of attribute to this card is what escalates the situation. Like having demonic possession of this inanimate object
Yeah.
is now a superpower, right? It's now greater than you because
Right.
you're not possessed.
Right. No, but I get that he doesn't die. Like, it's hard to kill him, right? Because
Yeah.
right. But it just restrain him. Like put him in a cage. I mean, that's it, right? You can just put him in a cage, and
You know what happened? You're gonna turn your back to go get more duct tape for the cage, and the cage door is gonna be open.
Right.
Because
That's what's gonna happen.
that's the magic of being possessed.
Right.
So there's a dark spirit that comes and goes, I got you.
Right.
You come out.
Do you think that's possible, being possessed?
Oh, dude, I was trying to watch Constantine again. Like, I love Constantine. And the
yeah.
opening scene where they're in LA.
I haven't seen that in a long time. It's with
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And the girl is chained to the bed or whatever. She's like, she's all fucking possessed.
Right,
or whatever.
right.
Like, that's just crazy, dude.
So I can't remember what the premise is. So Constantine is like a rejected angel, right? Or something like that? Or
yeah, eventually
or-
he's down on Earth to pay for his sins. So he hasn't the devil hasn't collected on him. He helps in the spiritual war kind of thing. So he's kind of in between angels and demons.
okay.
So he's kind of being pushed by both sides.
Oh, right.
But
kind of like Knight Rider.
Yeah, kind of like Knight Rider. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly right. So, but yeah, dude, the opening scene is just intense with the the possessed girl and them jumping the demon into a mirror and all that stuff.
Right. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just it's very hard for me to believe that somebody can get possessed like so easily, right? Just because, I mean, I'm not too sure if there is such a thing as a soul, right? So or anything beyond what we are now in
Flesh and
physical
bones.
form,
Yeah.
right? So if there isn't that, then how can you possess something that's not, within your reach or even yours, right?
Yeah, like there's a lot of people that talk about being in tune with certain energies, right? And some people that can vibe out, mediums that can, that know more about things that are going on, and tantric energies and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's people that can vibe off that.
Yeah.
But I think I remember there was a story from Mexico, right? Of course,
Yeah, of course.
story from Mexico. There was a
huevo.
Mexico, right? So there was this grandpa that got possessed.
Okay.
And they told me, hey, this is the story they're telling me, that they had asked us, hey, stay in front of this building. Don't look inside of it. And you know how Mexico has those double metal doors with like the stained glass?
Yes,
yes.
yes.
The portones that they have.
Yeah.
So like, no, don't look inside. If any cats come, shoo them away.
Cats. Just cats.
Just any cats, right? And Mexico, there's usually not that many cats. It's usually more dogs.
Yeah, stray dogs. A lot of them.
That's why there's not a lot of cats, right?
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So we're sitting there, and I kind of remember being there, or either the story was that good that I remember I was there. So forget me. I'm a little bit, and that's why I'm dressed the way I am. Bad memory, right? So they tell me that a bunch of cats start coming, and my uncle comes out, pulls out a gun, and shoots at all these cats. And it was crazy because the way, and I almost feel like I was there, these cats would be at building tops, they'd be walking on the sidewalk, and they just started coming out of nowhere.
Wait, shooting at the cats?
Yeah, towards it, like in the air. The cats.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't like firing at the cats, but
yeah.
And in the background, you can hear the exorcism occurring, and you hear the guy groaning. And somebody said that, I think my cousin told me, they had looked in there, and the grandpa in the chair was floating, and he was speaking in tongue. And on we were busy looking at cats. He got a glance of what was going on, obviously in stained glass. So how much did he really see? Right.
Right.
But was the trip to me, it was just all the cats that showed up. It's like, that's how crazy that you put us out here because you said cats will show up here eventually. And I was like, there's going to be no fucking cats. There's a bunch of dogs everywhere.
Right.
And sure enough, the cats came, dude. So, I mean, like, they say cats are part of the, underworld, or they can see it. Constantine talks about cats taking you to the underworld.
Right.
Stuff like that. So,
have you ever seen that movie Coraline?
The Tim Burton thing, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So there's they go to this underworld. The girl goes to this underworld, like where everybody has button eyes.
Oh, yes.
And there's this cat who seems to be the only one that's able to cross between these two worlds.
Yep.
And this cat in the other world, in the underworld, is able to talk. So it talks to her and kind of guides her.
Yeah. Funny you said guide. Yeah.
But it's interesting because that's kind of a recurring theme that I've heard as well. Like that cats seem to have that ability to
I
don't know,
show you the underbelly of things you don't want to see, I guess.
Right.
I guess that's
right.
where the 9 lives thing comes to.
Ah, yeah, that's interesting.
So they have 9
Yeah.
lives, probably because they got some deal.
Yeah, but aren't they little assholes though?
I don't like cats.
Like I had a cat, and that fucker.
They're assholes as kittens, but I think as they get older, they're pretty cool. I have a couple buddies with cats.
Yeah.
Actually, a few buddies with cats, and their cats are chill.
Well,
Except for the hunting shit, and they bring you rats.
oh yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah. Well, this cat was like, he looked at me. He's like, bro, I'm just letting you feed me because
I can hunt for myself.
yeah. It's like I can kill you, if I wanted to.
Like one little
yeah.
nail comes out.
I can take your eyes out. Like that's what I would think, right? When he looked at me, right?
It's primal for that cat,
right?
To be that way.
But if in contrast to a dog, a dog's like, yeah, I'll do anything for you.
Yeah,
like I fucking love you.
Yeah,
I fucking love you. Like it's just like they're stupid, but they're just
dedicated, stupid. Yeah,
right. As opposed to a cat knows, like they know they own you. Like they're not there to please you like a dog is. A dog wants to please you, right? But a cat is just like,
fuck your shit. You see those videos of the cats that knock shit down on tables?
Yeah.
I mean, that's proof positive.
You ever seen that video where the cat was actually instigating a fight between? No, it was oh shit, it wasn't a cat. No, it was a crow instigating a fight between 2 cats. Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
It's like this fucking crow comes down and like picks at a cat, and the cat turns around. There's another cat, and he fucks with it. And like they start fighting, and then they stop, and then the fucking crow comes down again and fucks with the cat, and they're just like instigating, and so they get into a big ass fight. And you can almost see, I mean, I'm just imagining it, but you can almost feel like you can see an expression on that crow. He's like laughing his
Got
ass
you
off.
fuckers,
Like, yeah. It's hilarious, but
yeah, dude, cats, I don't know.
I don't trust them, man.
I mean, with all the things that they could do, taking you to the underworld.
Yeah.
Talking with people with button eyes, all that
right.
shit.
Always land on their feet.
Dude, you talking about tapping. It made me think about something. The crow tapping on cats' heads. Back in your day, dude, when you were growing up, did you have, as guys would do in school, something they used to call a nut check? Sometimes in baseball, it was like a cup check. And they would tap your cup to see if you're wearing a cup or whatever. But it later graduated into a nut check, and you'd backhand somebody's nutsack.
Yeah.
No homo,
Right.
All respect.
Yeah.
But it's back of the hand and something just gentle to make sure the jewels were intact, right?
Yeah.
My son gets out of school. He tells me, he's like, Dad, you ever heard of dick tapping? And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, dick tapping. I was like, you should not be touching dick. I was like, unless you want to. I was like,
it's okay.
Totally fine with me if you want. If that's all you're telling me, I was like, and he's like, no, where people run up to you and tap you on your junk. And I was like, you mean nut check? I was like, y'all changing everything, man. Why is it dick tapping now? I was like, dude, please don't. Let's call it nut checking. I was like, and I think what they got him with was the old time classic of what's the capital of Thailand?
Ah, yes.
And he's like, I don't know. They're like, oh, Bangkok. Yeah, I just got him. Yeah. I was like, come on, man. Yeah, this life situation. So he was basically the cat in that situation, and he got Bangkoked.
Right.
Yeah. Fucking A, man.
Oh, man. I used to hate that. I hate when they I had like really bad friends that would grab my nipple and twist it. Like a nipple twist.
Tune the radio. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I hated that, bro.
Purple Nerps.
Yeah. And then the good old-fashioned wedgie.
Noogies.
Oh, the noogies.
Yeah, man.
I hate that, man.
Those things were just, so great back in the day.
I mean, they made you a man, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Just imagine if it happened today, you would have sexual abuse, called sexual abuse.
Yeah.
A lot of triggered kids.
Yeah. Did you ever...
A lot of kids seeing therapists for dick tapping.
For dick tappings,
Yeah.
He grabbed it while he tapped it. I was like, oh my God, it's like a double, Can't
so did he grab it or did he tap it?
Was it the back of the hand or was it all palm? Yeah.
Right. How hard was it tapping? Was he trying to feel it?
Yeah.
Or
was he smiling when he tapped you?
Right.
Jeez. Just hit him in the nuts, okay?
Yeah.
Tell him what's up. Yeah, so that's scary about Halloween. Getting punked like that. You ever what were some of your favorite Halloween costumes growing up?
I was always Dracula.
That's hilarious.
We talked about this. Like, it's just like man, if I recall correctly, I might have had a garbage bag as a cape
Yes.
one time.
Yes.
I mean, we were poor,
Yeah.
right? And it was just like, my parents didn't feel it was worth it to buy
For one night, yeah.
right? For one night, buy a costume. So we always made it, right? Or it was something that you can find at the 99-cent store. For instance.
Yeah, of course.
So I was always
And I was 99.
En la 99. I was always the vampire, man. Y luego, you're supposed to be pale, right? But no, I was white face.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was.
Ahora no se puede, güey.
I know you can't do that. Yeah.
You'd be a tanned vampire.
Yeah. Speaking of.
You'd be Blade.
Of speaking of costumes, do you think my costume is appropriate?
Yeah, I actually really like it. If you had a big rig outside, it'd be perfect.
Oh.
If today's podcast was like one of those microphones coming off your headset,
that'd be perfect, yeah.
dude.
But I'm just saying, it's
breaker 19. I'll see a big Smokey on the highway. That'd be so good.
Is there a costume that would be acceptable 20 years ago or 30 years ago when we were kids, that isn't acceptable now?
Okay, so kind of on that line, I remember there used to be like dudes that'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna dress up as a chick," as kind of like let me see who I can fool.
Yes.
Right. And like, nah, it's me. I'm a dude. Like, oh, damn. Like, yeah. So, but then I think some people now are actually using it to test the waters.
What do you mean?
Like, I've seen some pictures on social media and like somebody was like, when friends would dress up as a woman, they went full fledged, like heels, nylons. They did the whole thing. And it's like, all right, dude, you went the extra mile to make us believe you're a woman. Right.
Right.
But I've seen some people just like wear dresses and stuff. So I don't know. I think it's like it's lost its luster. You can't like the whole taboo-ness of the opposite sex.
But is that unacceptable because of the current climate of
the
trans acceptance
communities and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. 'Cause some people might see it as mocking them. My culture is not your costume.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't want people to think like I'm making fun of people who are transitioning because I'm wearing a dress or whatever.
Right.
Or I'm a cross dresser.
Right. So my culture is not your costume.
Yeah.
So is it okay for me to wear a redneck hat because I'm Mexican? Is that okay? But if I were white, would it be okay to dress as a Mexican?
I think it's fine. Because I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, like, think about it. There's a lot of redneck Mexicans.
Oh, yes.
There's a lot of trucker Mexicans that love America, bleed red, white, and blue.
Right.
America. And then there's some white people that should be Mexican.
Yeah, I agree.
There's some.
We'll give them the pass.
Yeah. One of my buddies eats more tapatio than I think the tapatio factory can make.
Right.
And
nice.
He's white.
Nice.
Super white. Honorary Mexican.
Welcome to the brown side.
Welcome to the brown side, bro. I mean, I don't know. There's a fine line. I can see where people get offended.
Yeah.
I guess people dressing as indigenous people too.
Right.
It's something that's kind of.
But
that was one of the ones back in the day. You can.
Right.
I'm a Native American.
Right.
Whatever
right.
the
Cowboys versus Indians. Right.
Right. I'm a pilgrim or whatever.
Right. But who has a right to be offended? Because I've seen a video. Right.
According to America, America does, and anybody can be offended here.
Right. But I seen a video, specifically there was a white guy wearing a big sombrero and a fake mustache.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like mine.
Yeah. Beautiful white mustache. By the way, beautiful mustache.
Thank you.
So I think he's walking around some college campus, and he says, Does my costume offend you? And then, of course, he's talking to other white people. They're like, yeah, of course. You're pretending to be white. It's offensive because you're not Mexican. It's like, why? Oh, because you're appropriating other cultures.
Right.
Then this guy dressed as a Mexican, right? So
he's in Sarape, and he's like, yeah.
He's in Sarape, and he goes to Overa Street.
Yeah. Great place.
I love it.
Right.
And he's talking to his Mexicans. He's like, hey, does my costume offend you? And they're like, no, you look great.
Yeah, you look good.
Come on.
Yeah.
So is that an example of the over exaggeration of
I think it's generational.
Overtly snowflakey
Yeah,
people.
yeah, for sure. I mean, especially as like comedy is concerned,
Yeah.
we have comedians have to blur those lines as much as possible,
Yeah.
and they have to tiptoe when they do it. Sometimes some just brazenly do it and they don't care. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there has to be you have to be allowed that opportunity to
Yeah.
blur those lines a little bit, and and I mean, Latinos and Mexicans, at least Mexicans specifically that I can speak to, les vale madre. Todo es bien chistoso, güey. So as long as it's
Yeah.
funny, then it's worth the laugh. We both
Right.
enjoy it. Una
Right.
pinche carcajada, and then, all right, cool, let's move on.
Right. Right.
It's like, I'm not going to get offended that, yeah, we wear sarapes when it's cold, for sure. Like, our blankets are fucking sarapes. They're fucking
Right.
huge,
Right. Right. They have a tiger on
The
it.
tiger, yeah. The tiger comes out in the winter.
So is it okay for other cultures or other races to be mad?
That somebody else's race is being culturally
Right,
appropriated.
even though it's not their own. Like, is that even?
Yeah, like, ¿pa qué te metes, güey?
Yeah, like, dude,
Stop.
just we're not
We're not dressed as Vikings, dude.
right.
You know,
I would love to dress a Viking.
I would. That's my school, mascot was a
Right,
Viking.
I'm sure it's not anymore. Right?
No, it's still Viking. The only
Yeah.
Vikings. Yeah, they don't care.
We used to be the
We used to be the pioneers in my middle school,
oh,
and they got rid of that.
really?
Yeah, because
Why?
Yeah, Lois and Clark.
Oh yeah,
They weren't cool to Pocahontas, dude.
Right.
Kind of backstabby,
Right. So how come how come we can have like I mean, how come we can still have these type of like I can't find I wouldn't wear it, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be able to find a costume to dress as a black person.
Right. Have you seen all the meme costumes that people are coming up with?
Oh yeah.
Dude, there's been so many good ones. Like, but you won't see that on the shelves.
Of course not.
Yeah.
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 Let's see the Edgar one. No quema,
No quemaca, for sure. I wonder if it
Yeah.
comes with the truck.
Mm.
That might be worth
La
it.
mamalona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, yeah, we should be able to like make fun of cultures. I think I told you that story one time of the guy that I worked with that he had gone to the Middle East and he had to wear the official clothing in the Middle East as he went to a palace and stuff like that to meet with some people.
Mm.
I forget what the name of the clothing is, so forgive me. But he then decided to wear that at a company Halloween party. And they took a picture
Ooh.
and he was wearing the same garb. And he got an angry email from the people in the Middle East said, basically, my culture is not your costume. And he was red in the face, cherry red in the face, felt so terrible.
Yeah.
He felt like he was a businessman too. And he told me, he's like, that was the biggest mistake of my life. He's like, that I did that. And he's like, I still can't make up for it. Like,
Right.
Right. But yeah, I mean, we make mistakes like that. And
Right.
but as a Spaniard, I'm sure his intent was, I'm going to dress as something that's not me.
Right. But how do you get to that? How do you make those mistakes? Like I always wondered, like, when somebody says the N-word, right? Like like it's some public figure that says N-word, right?
Yeah.
And then they apologize and they say, "Oh, yeah, it was a mistake. That's not who I am." How do you get there?
It's like you fell in a dick.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know how it happened.
Right.
Yeah. No,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how
How did you slip that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, those type of apologies never seem genuine to me.
There's
Just
no-
because, like, how do you get to that, right?
yeah.
It's just like,
Don't apologize, bro. If anything,
Yeah.
just don't even talk about it. You're fucked. You know what
right,
I mean, you're fucked, super fucked.
right.
You see, like, speaking of being super fucked and trying to come out of it, like, I know Will Smith, I see on his social media, he's trying to come out of the funk.
Yeah.
Like, he's now trying to be, like, more proactive and stuff like that.
Right.
So, like,
Coming out with a movie, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
The Emancipation movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So that should be pretty good. Kind of cliche for him to do black on black
Right,
stuff.
right,
and
right.
have Emancipation. But anyway,
Yeah.
I digress.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what else, man? What else is good, dude? Like, I know we've been working our way towards our wonderful corner that we have.
Oh yeah. I think it's time.
I think it's time for
Yeah.
a good old Kanye Knows Corner.
The KKK.
Yeah, no affiliation with the other team. This is solely Kanye Knows Corner.
Right.
So, where do we begin on our it seems like Kanye's feeding us weekly updates now.
Oh yeah.
We can
yeah.
get all
Pure
kinds of
gold.
juice.
Yeah,
From this.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's go and ring this one out.
Yeah. I was just reading that he shut down his. I didn't know he had a school, but it's Donda
Yeah,
Academy.
the Donda. Yeah.
Donda Academy was shut down. They sent an email to the parents saying, "Hey, effective immediately.
Turn in your bathrobes.
Yeah, we're done. We won't be opening until next year. We'll help you transition to other schools. Blah blah blah."
Wow.
But in Kanye fashion, flip flop a lot. They get an email the next day. It's like, "No, we'll be back open on. We'll be open back on.
We're
Monday."
back on.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're back on.
So I don't know. It's weird. I hear some crazy stuff about that school. That first of all, it's uncredited, right?
Interesting. Okay.
And also, if you want to put your kid in there, you have to pay $15K tuition every year, $15K, and you have to sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. What are they hiding?
That's a big ask for a school of your children.
Yeah, who the hell puts their children like that? You have to sign an NDA.
Yeah.
It's uncredited, and
15 racks.
15K.
Yeah.
For this dude who runs his mouth like crazy.
Yeah. That's tough, dude. Like, I mean, I think a lot of people do it just to, from what I understand, he offers a great curriculum as far as very forward thinking, as far as, what they're teaching kids and how they're teaching kids, and including music and stuff like that, which I think has the right intention.
Sure.
But yeah, NDAs, dude.
Yeah.
Got me fucking stupid if I'm going to sign an NDA for my kid to go to a school.
I agree.
Yeah.
And also, it's just he recently said that reading is like eating Brussels sprouts. And
which I love.
He doesn't read, or at least that's what he's
alluding to,
right?
Yeah.
How smart or how intelligent can you be if you don't read?
What if you read a bunch of dumb shit, though?
Clearly he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he rides on a lot like it makes sense to him, so it's got to make sense to somebody else, so I'm smart.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, a lot of the crap he's going through right now, like, I think he got dropped by Adidas, right? That's what was going down for him.
Yeah.
I saw all the memes where like Fallas Paredes was fucking dropping him too. And
I saw La Michoacana.
La Michoacana, fuck. He lost Michoacana. Yeah, that's terrible, dude.
No more caña asada.
No more caña asada. Damn. Yeah. So
dude, I just don't get it. Like, I heard him on this podcast on Lex Friedman. You know who Lex Friedman is?
I've heard of him. Yeah.
He's like a really chill guy. Like, he's really chill. Okay. Like, his podcast is super chill. And sometimes, like, I even get bored because he's so monotone, right? But he's a very smart guy. He's like a artificial intelligence science dude. I think he worked for Boston Dynamics.
Like a Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh yeah, like one of those like
just
big brain dudes.
Wow.
Right?
Okay. Cool.
And he actually interviewed him. It was just on last week, and bro, this guy like really challenged Kanye on a lot of his views, right? Particularly because he's Jewish.
Oh, so he's like, I'm going to go to bat right now then.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never heard him even raise his voice, right? So Lex was really getting on him. And I just don't understand why Kanye just flip-flops around like a lot. Like he says a lot of what people say anti-Semitic things just because apparently he's been burned by a lot of people in the music industry or even in other business ventures that happen to be Jewish.
The coincidence of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And what was Lex's point is like, he was saying, okay, yeah, you've been burned by a lot of people, but they're all individuals who happen to be Jewish. So therefore, you cannot say that the Jewish people or that the Jews are fucking with you. You can't say that.
Right.
Which I agree, right? It's just they're all individuals. However, Kanye has a counterpoint. He says, okay, but what if a woman who's been screwed by a bunch of dudes,
Asians, different dudes, Mexicans,
right,
whatever the hell,
right, and
a variety of men,
right,
Mhm.
and she has the right to say, "I hate men,"
generalizing them,
right,
for the one commonality,
right, and nobody, says anything.
People hate cops,
right? Exactly. You say, "I hate
Yeah.
cops,"
Yeah.
right, over just some of the bad apples that do all the crazy shit,
right?
So why is that accepted, but he can't say that, right? That was just kind of his logic.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying. That was kind of his logic, right?
Yeah, when I saw that, like the stuff about being anti-Semitic, like, and I understand that there's, like, I hadn't known exactly the definition of it. And I know there was, like, from watching, like, NWA in the movie about their upbringing, they had, they were told about their anti-Semitic remarks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like, I kind of had an idea that it was slander towards a certain community, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like it's a very well generalized don't talk shit on a statement. Anti-Semitism or being anti-Semitic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's hard for me to think what he's going through and kind of saying all those things, and now he's losing all these things, and schools closing down, and banks are ditching him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when in all reality, he probably didn't know how to properly formulate what he was trying to express.
Yeah.
I mean, it came out on a drunk podcast. Like,
right.
that's shitty to have him like, hey, get shit faced and then talk about everything on a podcast.
We should do that actually.
Yeah.
See, if we get canceled.
Yeah, we probably
quickly
will.
we get.
There was like 30 seconds into it. We probably will. Yeah,
I bet.
Yeah. He's like, what? Yeah. No, but that's it sucks. It sucks for him. It's probably because he's misunderstood.
Yeah,
and it's true. Like, why? I don't agree with hate towards any culture, but I don't.
Yeah.
So he needs to be educated on why it's not the Jewish people doing it to him. It just so happens to be Jewish people that were involved in those business transactions.
Right.
From all I know, Jewish people are great, dude.
Yeah.
You know, best comedians I've ever met, fucking
Jewish
people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, Ari Shafir.
Ari Shafir is a beautiful guy.
Yeah.
He's actually coming out with a special too, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So I thought about this the other day in anti-Semitic. Think about like Borat.
Yes.
And Borat and what he did for anti-Semitic stuff, right? And as far as that character. Now, Sacha Baron Cohen may have done it as a character and as a comedy or as a, what the situation may be, but he's said way worse shit than Kanye did.
Right.
If you compare about the things that Borat would say.
But Sacha Baron Cohen is Jewish, right? I
believe he is.
Yeah.
So does that make it okay?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, but it's kind of like with the N-word, right?
Right.
Only black people can say the N-word.
Right.
Anybody else, says the N-word, then it's racism, right?
Right.
You're just not allowed. So I don't know if the same rule applies, right? If a Jewish person can have a character such as Borat and do these type of things
and laugh about the stereotypes of Jewish communities,
right.
So it just seems like if the plane is spiraling and the wings are on fire, ain't nobody gonna help that thing. They're gonna just watch Kanye crash and burn, dude.
Yeah.
It's I don't know how much longer Kanye's corner is gonna be alive.
Oh, it'll be plenty alive. I think so. Yeah,
it's just heating up right now, huh?
Yeah. I just don't get it. Like he's clearly has some type of intelligence because he's a freaking billionaire, right?
Or he's done some things right,
or not anymore because apparently all these
bad deals
had cost him a lot. He's now a millionaire. Boo-hoo.
Ooh, yeah,
right, yeah.
That's hard knock life.
But it's just like, why would you go on a podcast and say, and I quote, he said, "I can say anti-Semitic things,
yes,
and Adidas will not drop me."
Like, he repeated that too.
Yeah, it's just, bro.
You're just testing them to drop you. Yeah.
Right.
And I should I don't know why I didn't know this, but I didn't know that Adidas was a German company.
Yeah, right. It is. And here's what's interesting, right? I'm a big believer on two wrongs don't make it right. Like I really hate when somebody does something and their excuse, well, he did it too.
Yeah.
That's what you did to me. Yeah, like you slept with my cousin, so I'm asleep with your sister. It's just like
totally okay, by the way.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Two wrongs don't make it right? So I lost my train of thought.
Yeah. So two wrongs don't make it right. Talking about Kanye, like going through what he's going through. Like, is it fucked up as far as what he's experiencing? Is it fucked up that he's going through these things because he's said what he said, like the whole Adidas thing?
There you go. Oh, yeah. I just got it again. So Adidas is a German company.
Right.
And apparently it started by, I forget the name, but it's added something and the last name is da something. So that's how you get Adidas, right?
Oh, okay. I thought it was All Day I Dream About Sex.
That's
the corn one, right?
Yeah, that's the corn one.
Yeah.
But so apparently the founder was a Nazi, like a full-blown Nazi.
Oh, damn.
And I might get this part of the fact wrong, but apparently they dress
disclaimer.
Hitler.
Yeah.
They dress Hitler. Like I don't know about that part.
He got the stripes on?
Apparently.
And
right?
the shell toes and everything? Yeah.
Apparently, right?
Wow.
So when Kanye made these anti-Semitic remarks and Adidas responded and said, "We don't tolerate this shit, right? We're gonna drop you immediately. Immediately, we're gonna make sure that all your stuff gets pulled, and we're actually they're talking about selling the shoes,
Liquidating it, yeah.
No, they're actually gonna continue to sell the shoes, but just to remove the Yeezy brand off of it because apparently they own all of the designs,
Patents and all that stuff, yeah.
anyhow. So I saw a couple videos by people saying, "Oh, you're dropping Kanye because he's saying anti-Semitic stuff. However, your founder was a Nazi. What kind of hypocrisy is this?" So it's like two wrongs don't make a right? So because their founder is a Nazi or was a Nazi, therefore
They should keep Kanye?
right.
Yeah, like,
They're supposed to tolerate this. And so it's just like this whole thing is like you're trying to you want to justify something because of a past that I'm sure they're very ashamed of.
yeah. I mean, that's if you hear a lot of those stories, like BMW started out as making warplanes.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what the propeller logo is on a BMW.
Right.
But they had to stop making warplanes because they were not allowed to make military equipment
right.
because of what they had done.
Right.
So then they went into making cars.
Right. Just
Right.
like VW.
Just like
Volkswagen.
Yeah.
I mean the bug was made for Hitler.
Right.
The Beetle.
Yeah. And Mexicans love that car.
Right.
We love it. It's el Bocho.
Right. And that doesn't mean, they're
That
anti-Semitic.
we love Nazis.
Right.
Right.
Just,
Like Coors. Coors that comes in little stubby bottles. Great beer.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know this. I read the label, and it's made by a guy named Adolf Coors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's actually a German that came into Colorado, used the Colorado Rockies in the water to help make Coors. That's why if you look at the bottom of the label, it'll say Adolf Coors, and that's the guy that actually made it. So it's a little bit of, and Dos Equis
right.
is also a German-inspired Mexican lager. So there's a lot of like German influence. So that'd be saying like, oh, well, Dos Equis is down with Nazis, and
right.
Coors is down with Nazis.
Right.
So it's like, these companies do their best to undo or
right.
fix what they've probably been through, or
right.
A lot of these people are just coming into it,
Yeah, that's true. No, and just kind of sidetracking. I read somewhere that in Germany, they really make an effort to teach kids on the horrors of the Holocaust and the horrors of the Nazi Germany because they want these kids to know exactly what happened. One, so they can know that if something like this, like if any type of person tries to rise and tries to do the same thing, they can identify and stop it. And also, there's also a sense of shame, right? They're really ashamed of what happened. They don't want to hide it. They know what happened.
Right.
It's not like with certain things in American culture, American history.
Like when we had the Japanese encampments.
Right. We want to just pretend that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right. But no, they
Indians? Yeah, we didn't do anything to them.
Right. Yeah. Right. They just kind of just want to sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
But they really do talk about it, and they just want to make sure that every single kid that graduates from their schools, they know the history. So they make sure that this doesn't happen again. It's not a pride thing. It's not like saying, "Oh, we did this."
Let me show you what your colorful history is.
Right. No, it's just like saying this is very shameful. However, this is still part of our history. And therefore, if we learn about it, we can ensure that it doesn't happen in the future.
And you probably don't look like ignorant coming out into the streets and like, oh, yeah, I'm German. I love our German military. Like, you guys know what you did? No.
Right.
You look like an idiot talking about.
Yeah, but that's also not a reason for you to go to Germany and then assume that everybody's a Nazi.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, again, two wrongs don't make it right.
And attacking Adidas for, I don't know, like that's I mean, that's something I didn't know about Adidas. Yeah. It's interesting. But
yeah.
I mean, everything had to start somewhere.
Right.
So
right.
It does have roots. You hear about those like I think of the movie Inglourious Bastards, and where there is
I didn't see that movie.
Oh, dude,
I have to see it.
You got to see it. So there's a point where the German guys are trying to work out a deal, these SS soldiers, and they're like, we'll give you up some information, just give us amnesty in the U.S.
Okay.
And then obviously they don't, right?
Right.
Point of this movie, but a lot of the times that people would suppress, like you hear all these different stories, like people's like movie stories and people suppressing their Nazism, and somebody discovers that they were a Nazi in the past.
Yeah.
Now you've uncovered their truths and stuff like that, and the community hates them and all that stuff, But like, Yeah, that's it's a bad time for Kanye.
Yeah.
Bad time for Kanye. It's a bad time for those doing business with Kanye.
Yeah.
You know, and things like this get uprooted for sure.
But I really hate cancel culture. And here's the thing. I really dislike what Kanye is talking about now.
Mm.
Um, but I don't I mean, I'm nobody, clearly, but I wouldn't call for him to be canceled. I just simply don't listen to him.
Yeah, just turn the cheek.
Yeah. I just like, this guy's full of shit. I'm just not gonna listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
Or even better, I would try to challenge him with better ideas. Right? Because that's kind of where we can move forward, where we challenge each other's ideas and try to come up with a better one.
Right. Yeah,
Right?
improve it.
Right?
Make it better.
You know, if you have a good argument and you can prove it and you can back it up, then we move with that idea. But
Yeah.
if it's not, let's debate. That's kind of the whole idea of a functioning society.
Or a good debate.
Right. But
Yeah.
if you just shut them down, you know, that's just not.
Yeah,
So
it's
it doesn't make me happy that he's being like,
cornered this way.
yeah, it really doesn't make me happy. Even though I personally don't
So-
like him. I don't think I would be his friend.
Speaking of cancel culture, okay.
Yeah.
So somebody who's really coming up and making a rise again is Louis C.K.
Yes.
Great comedian, right?
Yeah.
And he obviously came under fire. He got canceled, right?
Yeah.
Stupid shit. I think he even jokes about it on his most recent special he's
Yeah.
putting up on the website.
Yeah.
But he's making a grind again, and he's
Yeah.
coming back. He's getting back to the people that he had.
Yeah.
Chris D'Elia.
I was just gonna mention him.
Chris D'Elia is another one that I
Yeah.
think that's where his relationship stemmed from, outside of the drama.
Yeah.
And all the other guys, Brendan Schaub ditched him and all that shit like that.
Yeah.
They kind of like part ways, just like Adidas did with Kanye.
Yeah.
They parted ways with him, and Brian Callen, was even fucking looped into that too.
Right.
So but they're still there making a
Right.
comeback. So that does that mean that Kanye has a light at the end of the tunnel?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
If Will Smith does.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Will Smith was an anti-Semitic. Just slapped some dude. Right?
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah.
You know?
Just black on black crime. Nothing
Right.
bad, yeah.
Which everybody seems to
To
be okay with.
yeah.
You know?
Shameful people.
I agree. But I think he definitely has a comeback. Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly. But I think he needs help, man. Like,
You really think there is some psychological issues?
certainly, yeah. He's certainly not there. Like,
Mm.
not all there. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, especially if you're feeling cornered and you think people are out to get you, and you start generalizing, and
Yeah.
your kids are going through what they're going through. I mean,
Yeah.
your ex-wife's banging some dude from SNL.
Right. Right.
Shout out to Pete Davidson.
Yeah. Well, not no more.
Or Skeet. Oh yeah, well yeah, he's done that.
Skeet, yeah.
I understand he's going through some sort of mental therapy, or the therapy for the backlash he got from being with Kim.
Really? Because I know he went through some shit when he broke up with what's that chick? Ariana Grande.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Do you know his dad was in the 9/11?
Oh yeah, Pete Davidson's. Yeah.
Yeah.
He talks about it.
Yeah, he jokes about it.
He jokes about it all the time.
I did not know that. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. He jokes about it like, getting toasted or something like that. He says
Yeah.
something. Yeah. But I really think comedy is where there should be no limits.
Yes.
Like I mean I think nothing's off the table.
No, nobody's
The-
safe in comedy.
Yeah. But I think that should be.
You notice how they don't do roasts anymore?
Right.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I just noticed that.
Yeah. I still see the roast master general himself. I see him on the social medias. And now they have just like randos battling against each other. Like people going
really?
up and
Really?
talking shit on each other.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that show? What's called Kill Tony?
Kill Tony. No. I don't
Yeah,
think I
Tony
have.
Hinchcliffe. He hosts. And
Oh,
he has
okay.
like there's like
Okay.
new comedians and they're talking.
Yes, I
shit
think I
to
have
each
seen it on
other.
social media now.
It's amazing. Dude.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That's good stuff.
But with comedy, I remember this. Joe Rogan was talking about what's his name? Daniel Tosh.
Oh, Tosh. Yeah, Tosh Point.
Right. So he was talking about like at this like one gig, he was just fucking around with the audience, and then he's like, "What do you guys want me to talk about?" And somebody like yells out, "Rape!" Right, and
Yeah.
then the guy's like, "What's so funny?" Daniel Tosh is like, "What's so funny about rape?" And then some girl says, "Nothing's funny about rape." And then Daniel Tosh, brilliantly, he goes, would it be funny if she get raped right now? And everybody like laugh, right?
Yeah.
And that's like an example of something that should be off limits, but it's funny if done correctly.
Yes.
Right? Just because she was just being a bitch, right?
Right.
Right. And he doesn't really want her to get raped, but it's just like, it was just kind of in the moment. And that's like, people
it reminds me of like Andrew Schultz did a little bit of crowd work recently, and I guess somebody had a heart attack or something like that in the audience, and that he was like, oh shit, like, okay, I get him out. You can see him talk them out, or get the person out.
Oh, he was actually having a heart attack.
Somebody was having a heart attack in the audience.
Not like in the past.
No. Somebody was actively having like something going on, right? And then some Karen goes like, oh, you shouldn't make fun of that, like in the audience. And he's like, hey, and he just starts fucking laying into her. And then he lays into her so bad. He's like, don't get on your phone. Don't act like I'm not fucking talking to you. He's like, nobody's texting you, this and that. And he goes, he's like, what is it that you do? And she's like, I think she blurted out that she was a paramedic. And he's like, then what the fuck are you talking shit? Just fucking sitting there, not helping them going through the heart attack.
Right.
But like, as a comedian, you can tell it's about, the joke that he's making. Like, dude, like, this is funny. The fact that you were talking shit to me and you're a paramedic and this person and you're mad that we're clowning this person is fucking,
right.
kicking the bucket in the middle of the audience. You have to be able to laugh at those things, Like,
I agree.
And
I agree.
If you're coming into comedy, know that you don't have a shield anymore. You don't have protection. Your skin better be thick and just laugh it off.
Right.
But yeah, it's a scary playground, the comedy playground.
It is. But I think it's coming back. I think comedy particularly is coming back to where it was like, back in the
because they've canceled cancel culture, right?
Right. I mean, that's what they want, right? I mean, that's what's his name? Chappelle. It's just like, I don't get why they want to cancel Chappelle for the trans stuff. Like, I saw the last special that he did.
Yeah.
It's literally a letter to a trans person, to his friend.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but basically, he's talking about, all these encounters that he had with gay and trans people, how they hate him and stuff like that. And then he's talking about how his friend who happened to be trans, who was an inspiring comedian, who he helped with, letting her open shows for him, stuff like that. And then when he was attacked for being transphobic,
right,
she defended him, and a lot of people like started attacking her, and apparently she couldn't take it, so she committed suicide.
Wow, because
of that. And even with that, such a sad thing. He's like, we know he was a dude because he jumped out of the building, and that's only what a dude would do. And that was part of a joke, even after talking about
he had balls so doing that, yeah.
So anyway, it's just it's a mess, man.
Yeah.
It's
tough. But I like the people that push the envelope, man. There's a lot of people that will push the envelope for it, and they'll deal with the repercussions. My hat's off to you. It's bold.
Yeah,
it's what makes us enjoy comedy so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
But damn, what do we got going on in the next podcast?
I don't know, man. But we got to make it more often.
Yeah,
I realize, because it's just like we wanted to do this like bi-weekly, but I think we should probably do it more often.
Yeah,
just to get more content out there.
Well, Kanye's pumping it out for us.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think that's what's gonna make it splendid.
Yeah,
Kanye feeding us
for sure.
So much information.
Well, I just want to say thank you for listening to my podcast. I'm gonna go out there and hang out with my brother and my sister.
You got it. Just keep it going. I'll see y'all later, dog.
Later, dog.